I know you all exchange your business card with each table, but by the end of the day, I want to make sure you all know each other, okay? So make sure you get to meet everyone today, okay? So thank you so very much, and did you enjoy your dinner? That was very, very tasty. I hope you all enjoyed, and still have some more, so feel free to go get the seconds and then more drinks, and feel free, okay? Don't be too tight. No, I just wanted you to enjoy for the day. That was the purpose of, well, Dr. Ide, you don't need to take a picture. It's your turn coming up. And then I know you all, maybe you're a little bit nervous about making a presentation on students, but that's okay. You just talk from your heart. Doesn't matter if your English is not perfect or sometimes you make a mistake. That's okay. This is not a test. This is something, sharing idea. Sharing idea that you have with the professors and scholars on here, and that is such a special opportunity that you can be all together to learn about something new about AI. Well, let us welcome Mr. Yuji Ide, the president of US-Japan Forum.
Thank you, Harubi-san. Good evening. I'm Yuji Ide. Did you enjoy the food today?
Yeah.
It's very good, right? Yeah, I like this food also, yeah. Anyway, thank you for coming today. US-Japan Forum started about 10 years ago. More than 10 years ago, which means 20 years ago, I started student study tour like this. Then I thought, oh, this is a good chance for me and the students, and also Japan. Because this is a good opportunity to meet with friends, students at Sando State, and professors, each other. So that's why I think, we should do that. Then I created this forum. So now the member of the US-Japan Forum is 20 universities in Japan. So every year they're sending students to this program. Unfortunately, in the last 3 years we got into COVID. So we didn't do that, but now we be open this forum. That's why I'm very happy to have this forum today. And this year we have only 5 students, but very, very, very selected students from Japan, and they're going to present us future of AI, future life with AI technology. That is very interesting. And also we invited keynote speaker. Dr. Nakayama from Tyson company, Tyson Inc. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. And today we would like to have greetings from director of JSPS, Japan Promotion for Promotion of Science. Yeah, and then Dr. Nakabep. And then we'll have a speech from the professor of the Barres, and he is the chair, and professor and the chair of mechanical engineering of the Sando State University. And also, we normally invite the Consul General of Japan in San Francisco, but unfortunately, just he returned to Japan this week. So that's why, but the Consul Kurokawa came to here to meet with you all of us. Thank you very much. And at first, we'd like to have a welcome speech from Professor Barres. Thank you. Please come.
Thank you very much, Yuri, for inviting us and also including me into this 15th forum. So I got to meet Yuji and his students a couple of years ago, actually 4 years ago when we started this program. We are a co-sponsor of the event. We are excited to be part of it. He always brings very dedicated students to San Jose State University. We try to give them a good tour of the university, our programs. And I always tell the students that they are going to be my ambassador to go back to Japan and try to bring back students to our program. So I'm excited to be here. As Yuji indicated, building this relationship between the two countries is really important. At a time that countries, people are becoming divided, this is a terrific opportunity for bringing people together. And the topic of discussion that we have at this time, AI, artificial intelligence. I'm excited to see Dr. Yokomaru to be here to make a presentation. As you know, there are a lot of discussions on AI. Is it a good thing to have, or is it a bad thing to have? So I'm going to wait to see what he's going to say. But if you remember, 2 days ago, there was a meeting in Washington, D.C., and key individuals from Microsoft, from Elon Musk from Tesla and Project X, and Mr. Zuckerberg from Facebook or Meta, they were there. Some people are saying that AI is going to be very dangerous. In my opinion, AI is a wonderful tool, and it should be used wisely. Just like when you have a car, you drive your car. If you drive responsibly, it's going to get you from point A to point B. You're not going to harm or hurt anybody. However, you can drive a car recklessly and hurt people, kill people. So the same thing in here. AI is a tool. We have to use it wisely. So I think this is a wonderful topic that is being promoted at this time during this particular visit or the forum that has been scheduled. So I'm glad to be here. I'm going to be learning from this event tonight, and I look forward to the 16th forum that as usually is going to organize for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Baraz. I am the mother of the alumni of San Jose State as well. But I am so happy that there are somebody who in the world who is science-minded and who can think about AI. I am totally Greek to me, and there is somebody like you all to be in promoting science. Let us welcome Dr. Nakabep.
Thank you for the introduction. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kiyoshi Nakayama. I am the director of the Japan Society for the Promotion of Science, or JSPS San Francisco office. I've been there in just 1.5 years. So, it's my great pleasure to congratulate Yuji Ide-san, President of US-Japan Future Forum, distinguished speakers, guests, and all participants for the successful reunion of this forum after 3 years hiatus due to the corona pandemic. I am honored to deliver this address as a celebration of the 15th anniversary of the US-Japan Future Forum. The theme of this year's forum is a future life with AI technology. AI technology is transforming our lives in various ways, making them more convenient and comfortable, as you know. It is applied in diverse fields such as automotive, finance, manufacturing, and also healthcare, in addition to science itself. We have witnessed remarkable advancement in AI technology in these recent years, such as the language model GPT-4, developed by OpenAI, and the deep learning system AlphaFold, developed by Google. Tonight, I am looking forward to hearing from Dr. Kiyoshi Nakayama, CEO of Tyset, who developed the scalable, traceable, adaptive, distributed learning AI platform. Stay there. And sharing his insights on generative AI technologies in his keynote speech. Privacy protections and compliance are crucial issues when we use AI. And Tyset supports both of them. So I hope to learn more about these topics from his talk tonight. We need to keep up with the progress of AI technology and work towards a better future. This forum will provide valuable insights into the latest development of AI technology and inspire all of us to collaborate for a better future. I hope that the students from Japan and San Jose State University here gathered will engage in lively discussions about the future of AI technology. I believe that in the near future, you will have a great opportunities for international cooperation in order to realize a safer and more wonderful future life using AI. As you take in the next step, JSPS is here to help you take your studies and research to the international stage. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Nakabe. Are we ready for the keynote today?
Yes.
Well, when I was driving up here today, I see the sign that says, "You run the business. Don't let business run you." The same thing. AI can run us like crazy, but we can live with AI to be smarter. Somebody like a non-technical person like me can get the help from AI to understand more technical and science. Well, let us welcome Dr. Nakayama.
Thank you for the introduction. So I'm really honored to be here actually. So because everybody's really good at like talking about things like AI and stuff. And actually okay, thank you. I actually established a company called Tyset, and usually I talk about how you do the startup. But today it's not the topic, right? So it's about AI. So I've been in AI field since I was a PhD student. I used to be a PhD student at UC Irvine. I did like distributed learning there. So since I got PhD, I used to work at a couple of research labs around here. So probably you know like Jan Lekin and Babnik, those guys are like godfathers of AI. So he kind of created like research labs in NEC. So I was so fortunate to be in the part of that, research group that Jan Lekin and Babnik created. And now I just got out from that kind of research field, and then I established my own company called Tyset. Yes. Okay. So yeah, today's topic is about generative AI. So people really talk about this topic, right? So this topic, right? So because of ChatGPT, and I'm also doing generative AI, right? So I mean, it's so competitive around here. So every day I check the news and LinkedIn articles and stuff, and I'm always surprised to see like daily progress and advances in this field. So I can kind of introduce, what's happening in this field of AI, especially about generative AI. So first, a little bit myself. So I just got PhD at UC Irvine, and then I used to work at like research labs, and then I said like in UC labs is kind of a big opportunity for us to work with the AI godfathers, and then I actually like established a technology of decentralized like learning and stuff. So, and then I published a book called Federated Learning with Python, which was actually ranked like 7 in Amazon in machine learning, but now it's just gone because of the generative AI search. So, And my co-founder is George Jana, he's actually a tech genius. He got like a master's degree in Georgia Tech, and then he's primarily working on the product and also creating the the latest technologies in this field. Alex is like our business leader. He's been in startup field for like many years. He got a lot of exits, and now he's primarily working for us. I mean, Tyson is based in Santa Clara. Okay. So you probably have seen this, right? This is like how the large language models grow. So probably some of you have read the article about language model, which is called attention is all you need, right? So that's the basis of neural language technology, right? I mean natural language technologies. So there are so many LLMs, meaning including GPT-4 and GPT 3.5, which is published by OpenAI. But that's actually one of so many, right? So and people know about GPT-4, but there are actually so many models that you can use by yourself. So especially what I actually am doing is like investigating what's happening in this field and get the latest model and then into our product. So our product should be always up to date, right? So but I just want to skip what it is, right? I mean, there are so many technologies in this field, and something called like transformer, right? Which is a pretty like innovative technology in this field. Okay. And actually, I want to also skip these kind of things because you already know what kind of things that LLM can help, right? One of these is like translation technologies, and really sophisticated right now, right? So when you use Google Translation, long time back it just sucks, right? But now it almost perfect, right? So everything behind these kind of technologies is based actually on LLM. So, and on top of that, you can just also use LLM for language understanding, information retrieval, text summarization. And probably you know because you use ChatGPT so many times, and I also use ChatGPT so many times. If I don't really use very sensitive information, because ChatGPT can take your data and probably not learning your data, but like they process your data, right? So, and I mean this is a little like detailed stuff, but what I'm trying to say here is GPT-4 and it's huge, right? You have to spend so many money, right, to just host it and use it. But if you look at, for example, like 5.1, it's very small, and then you can see that the performance is even better than GPT-4 or something. If you are focused on some very specific tasks. So this is the trend. What's happening in AI right now? I basically trying to say that these days anybody can use LLM. Anybody can own LLM and control LLM and train that so that you can really use it for yourself. But a couple months ago, it's only by OpenAI, right? Yeah. So what I'm trying to do in my actual startup is to kind of be aware of the programs of ChatGPT first. I mean, I myself use ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is very good in so many fields. But there are so many companies and so many people who cannot really use ChatGPT because of privacy and security. And ChatGPT, sometimes like you get stuck, right? You can't really get outputs from the from the service because it's so congested. So this is a critical technology, but you cannot really rely on ChatGPT because it's basically hosted somewhere else. So in some sense, it's dangerous, and so many queries can hack already. So probably like 70% of companies cannot really use ChatGPT based on my experience, but it depends. So this guy is really talking about the problem and what's happening in this field. So it was very interesting. This was a seminar by Databricks. So basically what he's trying to say here is that this field of generative AI is shifting to open source LLMs. So basically, open AI is called closed AI because everything is closed. But he's trying to say open AI should be open, meaning you have to probably first control and own the model itself because it is secure and it's privacy preserving. And you should be able to customize the LLM. I mean, if I talk about LLM, it's basically talk about generative AI. And it should be transparent. You should know what's happening there. And also, you should access to the model at any time because the model is the key to the company. It's going to be an asset of any company in the future because basically you can really cut the cost of hiring a lot of people. Basically, GPT type of thing, right? LLMs can do like 60% of people's job right now. But because you replace the lawyers, but you can replace lawyers, you can replace administrative, workers and stuff. All the things can be done by LLMs. So it's it's kind of scary because it's taking most of the people's job. But at the same time, you have so many opportunities, tremendous opportunities to really work on these things and then get the kind of pretty crazy world in the future. So this is again the same things. Basically, what's concerned in today's generative AI is control, security, and also customization and cost. So probably if you watch some news, I don't know, it's not cities. So this guy is the CEO of Databricks, and then I talk about Databricks too much, but I'm not really working for them. But this guy is basically saying that in the future, everything is everything about LLMs is going to be owned by companies, meaning he's basically trying to say that ChatGPT is ending. So, I mean, it's not ending actually, but for the enterprise customers or mid-size or small-size companies can probably own the LLMs and then they can customize it and use it. So probably some of you already have heard of the release of Llama 2. And Llama 2 is some open sourced large language models developed by Meta, right? So this is Yang Kim. He's the co-founder. So this is actually crazy news, right? Because now only in the past only few companies can own and access this stuff, but now basically anybody can download and use it. But the thing is, it's pretty complicated to use it for now, and it's still very big. So basically, what I'm trying to do is just really, really make it small, and then run it even on your PC. So so that's what we are doing actually. But this stuff is pretty much going to change the world in AI in the future. So again, like this is something interesting you can know. It's like OpenAI CEO, right? Sam Altman says that the age of giant artificial intelligence models are kind of basically ending. But he's the one who created like GPT, right? But he's at the same time he's trying to say it's ending. It's interesting. People got confused by his kind of, it's kind of declaration that it's going to end. But he's not basically saying like LLM is ending, right? So LLMs, meaning the language models, can be smaller and can perform even better. So it's pretty much similar to the companies like you don't really need one single person who can do everything, right? You basically in the company you have like 100 people who are good at like some specific things, and they collaborate and then make things better, right? So it's much more efficient. It might be complicated, but like, it's much more efficient. It's actually the same thing happening here. So then like what's the next move, right? What's happening in the next? So so then these kind of papers came out, right? So I like to read these things, but like basically what they are trying to do is you create something small, and that small model can perform better than GPT-4, like the GPT-3.5, like that's what they're trying to say actually, with so many mathematics and stuff. So and this paper too. Well, these are from Microsoft and Google. So basically, they use some specific techniques to really make them small and then perform better. I skip what's happening here, but like there is some technique called fine tuning, and also some technique called distillation. If you can really combine them nicely and do it step by step, I think it's going to be better. Basically, that's what it's much more complicated, but like that's what it says. So I talked about many things, but like this is what's happening in a nutshell. The paradigm shift of LLM. So basically, it started from SaaS model, right, which is ChatGPT. So it can be only accessed by API calls. Basically, ChatGPT is like just API calls, right? You use browser and then APIs code from the browser. So that's the first breakthrough, right? It's even way better than the previous services and stuff. So then like by these things like all the kind of chatbots and things could be even like smarter than people who don't really know about things. But anyway, so then like now it's shifting to be open, meaning everybody can access to something like ChatGPT, and everybody can use it, right? But it's still really complicated, right? So only a few companies can really handle these things. And then what's happening next is going to be more adaptive, meaning like getting to be more small, more cheap, and performing better. So that's what we call like adaptive language models. So things are like going this way. Yeah, so actually adaptive LLM is the trademark of my startup. So things could be adaptive, meaning you can use it on your PC, you can use it on your small server. You don't have to pay for that because you basically own the server, right? Or you own the box. You run it, and like, for example, 20 people can access it, or 25 people can access it, or even 100 people can access it. So you can adjust the LLM based on your need. So that way, like, you can provide, various services to so many people and customers that want to use AI. Especially like this kind of generative AI stuff. So I'm not here to just sell my product. If you look at this, like ChatGPT is super expensive. But basically, nobody can host it because you need $10 million or $100 million. If you have money, go ahead to use it, like GPT for anything. It's very expensive to host it. But like now, like Amazon, Microsoft, and also like Snowflake, Databricks, they kind of try to provide a service for you to be able to customize that kind of generative AI models on their platforms. But people can kind of really start using it, but like you never know what's happening there, like too. So I mean, it's secure. You can upload your data, upload your documents, and train the models and stuff. It's still pretty complicated and stuff. But then like what we are doing is like, okay, package in a box and just ship it. So you got the box and plug in and then just use it. So that's so easy, but behind it, it's so complicated because you have to make it bigger, the model smaller, and be more effective, and even sometimes even perform better, right? So that way, in the cost-wise, you can reduce so many costs, meaning so much cost, meaning you don't really have to pay for anything. I mean, only for the license fee in your case. But like, if you can do it, just get the box and use it. So that's like as easy as like ABC, right? So meaning now it's something that anybody can own. So that's the kind of concept that I mean you do. And then you can upload your very sensitive documents, your secret information, secret conversation from my meetings and stuff. I imported most of the meeting notes because it's pretty secret, not secret. But then like you can just use it yourself to just summarize what was the meeting about. Or I sometimes use it to check the contract with so many partners. I used to pay for like $2,000 to get lawyers and check the contract, but I don't do that anymore because LLM is even smarter. So you import all your contracts and then just get the LLM check your contract, so you don't have to pay $2,000 or $5,000. I used to pay like $10,000 for some interesting lawyers who ask for so much money. But now you can skip all that. You don't have to negotiate because the LLM can tell you how much cost you can save and what's the risk behind being partnership of this company and stuff. And unlike customers probably use for like very, very sensitive data of hospitals and things. So you should not be able to kind of really upload all the documents into the cloud. That's kind of really kind of prohibited in the medical field. So that's probably the only way to do that. Yeah, so this is the product. This is like screen capture from my book. It's actually offline and it's back like this. So, for example, like I don't know what. Maybe. Yeah, how do you appoint C-level directors? You can say that. I mean, this is my company's bylaws, which is also like pretty private, but I don't care. I can just open it. Like how to fire a CEO, and it can answer this very clearly too, and how to, for example, how the stock options work in this company. I didn't really know about these things because LLM told kind of how to do that or how to manipulate like these kind of stock and things and stuff. So that's why I know these things. I basically don't really read like company bylaws, like which has like 200 pages and stuff. But now you can ask and you get the answer quickly. Yeah, so now so many companies have like private documents that you can upload to the system, all local. It never goes out, right? You can even use it offline. So there's no security issue, no privacy issue, because basically after we deliver the product, we don't access customers' data anymore. but there are still like merits and pros and cons thing, because it's pretty challenging. It's pretty difficult to do that kind of thing. So, and sometimes it's just easier to call ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is still performing better in many fields, right? Like I even do programming like even now, right? So, but I use ChatGPT most of the time because it's easy, and then it can answer so many things. And hey, write this function, and it writes like 100 codes and stuff. So, really, like I still have some like consulting projects by some like large enterprise companies. I got some like if you get like so much money, right? And then you could say, hey, because I have to hire like 10 engineers, it's so expensive, right? 10 engineers, I don't know, $10 million. Like, oh, you can do it using ChatGPT. But like, I mean, like, I shouldn't say this. Like, if you use like my adaptive LLM, because the information doesn't go out from the local environment, it's actually legal. You don't have to hire like 10 engineers. You can let the LLM do that, and then get $10 million if you want. I mean, if you can. But still, so many people use ChatGPT for this kind of thing, and they significantly reduce the cost of hiring for like engineers, which sometimes like $2-3 million, and you just get that. You don't have to pay for engineers. So probably this is so much like this is like that, right? So now it's in the phase of like thinking about the next move, right? Because most of the things can be done by this thing, right? I don't know what's happening next. So because so much regulation, so many privacy laws here. So probably these LLMs cannot do everything, but actually it can do so many things. So I mean, so we all have to think about our future, which cannot be done by this stuff. So that's going to be a real value in the future. Yeah. So that's the end of the this presentation. So let me know if you have any questions. That's it.
Dr. Yakamari, have you tried using ChatGPT, asking questions how you can make your company more successful?
I've asked ChatGPT so many times about how to do that, and the answer is always depends. It depends on the like quality of CEO, like the team of like of technology.
Okay, so have you tried using your adaptive LLM for that question? And what was the answer then?
I want to use it now. But, yeah, but questions are like the answers are pretty similar to ChatGPT. So basically, what's going to happen is it's going to try to include the common sense, and also like what adaptive LLM has learned before. Yeah, so it depends what documents what kind of texts you imported into the system.
So in all situations, it came back and said it depends on the management of the organization?
For sure, it depends on the
Okay.
management of the organization.
Not necessarily the technology that they have developed, right?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the technology too, but that always comes with the market needs. Yeah. I used to develop Stado, like Edison said. I believe like this technology is interesting, but also many people didn't. So many people bought this system. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, I can ask my adaptive LLM to get the answers. Let me try later.
That would be good.
I have a question.
Okay.
So, LLM basically learns from inputs from all the data, continues to evolve, continues to get better, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you carve out this sort of edge computing, edge resident LMN in certain companies' server, right? And then make sure that the information doesn't go out. Does that adaptive LML continue to also evolve from other, mainline ChatGPT, or does it diverge off and learning is different?
It's a good question. That's what Stato did. Stato in my previous product is like distributed learning platform. We are like edge computing, edge learning happens there. And what we did is integrate all the learning results based on the context, and then make it even smarter and deliver to the other people too, if you want. So that's the next level of fine-tuning of LLMs, I think. But I don't think it's still there. People still collect data, train the model, and just host it somewhere. Yeah. But we believe that learning can happen anywhere, even on your PC or even on your smartphone. Google actually did it, right? So Google, what's that? Typo system, right? Learning happens in your mobile phones, and they collect your learning. They kind of pressure integrate your learning, but they didn't get your sensitive data. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, maybe I don't quite understand how the information, the evolution of the large language model to become like God, because it collects all of the information of the world versus the local instance and evolution limited by the information that's provided. How can it coexist or compete? That's the part that I don't understand. Maybe it's offline discussion.
Yeah, it's it's interesting topic to create a gold model versus it's smart individuals. If you want to rely on the God, or you believe in yourself. That's kind of, it's almost similar to what's happening there. I personally believe that technology itself is going out of creating God model. That's what OpenAI see it.
Nakayama, long term, in your opinion, because Elon Musk says AI is going to destroy humanity. What are your thoughts? Are you going to help in that area, destroying the humanity by the software you developed at your company, or you're going to take a different approach?
It's an interesting question. AI is going to destroy the humanity. It depends on us how we use it. But actually, what's happening? It's actually I can't really answer that things, but what's happening is you watch YouTube or something, and that always AI is learning your habits and things, and then it always suggests the interesting contents to you, right? And then you think, oh, this is my stuff. Meaning, oh, what I'm interested in is this thing. That means AI controls you, right? So if you go beyond that point, then AI will change your mindset. And actually, it's like that right now. People don't really have opinion. People just ask ChatGPT first, and then learn it, and then that's your opinion. So, in that sense, it's already destroys your unique way of thinking. But at the same time, we have to accept that ChatGPT or LLM is very, very smart.
So several years ago, when the internet was coming to the picture, many companies were interested in investing in that venture of internet. Then we heard that there was a bubble, the bubble burst. So I understand there's a lot of opportunities in the area of AI for venture capital companies to invest.
Right.
So if you were to advise the students from San Jose State University and the visiting students from Japan, what would you tell them in terms of long term? Should they get into this business of trying to invest, start a company, or should they hold back and use other tools?
It's another interesting question.
Please don't ask GPT.
So first, like people said, like this kind of wave of AI is gonna be like probably for the next couple of years. But like if you wanna do some startup in 5 years, probably something else might be happening. Because I'm not saying like this area is not promising. I'm basically trying to say is this area is very competitive. So for the startups to work on this thing, you have to be the king, right? So that's what I'm also struggling with, like fundraising things. Because like, hey, what is the unique points? What is the unique features you have? Because Google does it, like Meta does it, right? You can't really say, I'm creating the best model in the world. No, then why you are doing fundraising? Because Google has like $10 billion to work on it. But your startup has probably at the most $1 million for that. So like, so that's why probably, but still like so many potential topics are in this field, right? So I kind of really focused on the privacy and like local security and thing, because that's not so many people are doing right now, but probably in 2 years, that might be a common sense. So that's why I said it's difficult. So, but yeah.
It is true there are a number of young people in this room that probably they were not born in year 1999 as well as 2000. At that time, the market was so hot, you would go and say, I have an idea. They would say, how much money do you want? And I'm sure it is the same right now. If you say, I have an idea related to AI, how much money do you want? But I fully agree with you. In a couple of years, that wave is going to disappear.
Yeah. It's actually disappeared. Kind of. Yeah, talking about AI, like it was hot before, like 3-4 years ago, when the image recognition rate. Now I go back to Japan sometimes, and I was surprised it's all replaced by AI system, right? Because it can perform better than people. But that's a visual thing. Now it's language. So it went down after that wave, and now coming up, and probably it's gonna go away in a couple of years. So that's what I think. But like this thing is gonna be there still, and then but only by the leaders of this field. All the kind of small things gonna go away.
Thank you for a really great presentation. Let me see if I understand this. So, Tyset provides LLM, its own LLM. The customer can install, run on their own server or cloud, private cloud.
Yeah.
They feed their own data to use it for whatever they need to do. And then, in the meantime, Tyset continues to improve its model so that the customer can upgrade to Tyset's latest model. Yeah. Is that what happens?
Yeah, that's what we do actually.
Okay, so when you improve your model, you use like all the data that you scrape from the internet. Is that how you do it?
That's why we have this technology. Meaning you use our API to run yourself. We never see your data. For example, we never see your pictures and things, but you can learn yourself. But if you can share the intelligence, then we can get the intelligence. But that intelligence in itself doesn't contain anything.
So you don't use your customers' data for training to improving your model.
That's right.
Oh.
Sometimes we collect like some projects, like because they provide the data to us. And then,
Oh, I see.
Okay, but we need to sign like all the like privacy like stuff in place.
So I don't want to take up too much of your time, but
Yeah.
a big part of customers wanting to use your model is hardware constraint, right? If the hardware cost comes down, is there going to be a significant difference between the ChatGPT and the model that you provide?
It's actually adaptive. It has almost the same score. Like, no, just kidding. Like Yeah, I mean, because now I work with like Taiwanese companies who creating nano board, GPU board, which is like $200 I think. $200 is something anybody can afford right now, right? Unless you don't really have money. But what's interesting is they create a cluster. You can add another board and thing, and then make it more powerful. So that way, and then that board getting to be cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. So yeah, probably in the future, with like for example like $2,000, like box can perform as good as probably ChatGPT.
Cloud.
Yeah.
That's why this field is super competitive.
It's competitive, but it's actually interesting.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So my understanding is your product is actually providing your service to the client to customize not searches, the LLM program, right? So it's more specific to their needs,
Yeah.
and not like ChatGPT, which is kind of general.
Yeah.
Like, so I work in
Right.
law, so
Yeah.
we need a very specific
Yeah.
answer to our questions, not just ChatGPT type.
Yes,
And
exactly.
then we actually, my firm created a version of it. So, but actually my initial question is, as a company, do we have to use the company like yours to have a customized version of like, like an LLM programs, or can we just go directly to like a Zoom or Snowflake or Databricks and do the same thing?
If you can do that, and if you can pay for the cloud cost, probably, I mean, if you can, so Databricks and Snowflake, they provide the platform for you to be able to customize. But they are also good at like fine-tuning using your data.
So that's similar to your service.
So this is the thing, right? So you have your information in your documents, like specific information you want. So basically, 80% of the things can be done by just importing the documents and get the necessary portion of the documents and answer that question. Meaning, if you just import it and just use it, probably you will get 95% of what you want. So you don't really have to customize. I mean, you don't really have to fine tune. So when you say customize it, Databricks and stuff are like really good at fine tuning. Fine tuning is like learning lots of data. For example, you have to fine tune Japanese models. So yeah, but that's very expensive.
So what's the difference between your service and what the Snowflake and Databricks can do for companies
So
like us?
yeah, so fine tuning is like another option for us. So because 80% of the things can be done by just importing the documents, right? So our stuff is securely import your documents to your own server or something, right?
It's not a cloud.
Yeah, Databricks. Yeah, I mean, I can host in the cloud. It's okay, but like if you don't want to host in the cloud, you can use your own server too. So many companies can already share the documents with like OpenAI or something. Or Databricks has their own cloud system. If you don't mind, like just uploading the data to Databricks, and then if you can pay for the cost, you know how much you should pay for the cloud? It's like $2,000-3,000 per month, at least. If you don't care about it, then that's fine. But if you own the server, it's basically free, right? Because you host it. So, yeah, I know it's a little complicated things.
So some clients or some companies, it's more cost effective to use your services if you don't, depend on volume of the data you're dealing with. But it might be cheaper to go to you to do it on premise.
Yeah, it might be cheaper. It might be secure, and yeah, and you can kind of customize the hardware as well too. I mean, like, so. I mean, that's why enterprise customers probably use Databricks.
The Databricks?
Yeah, because, well, Databricks or Snowflake or something. Right, because they have
Cash.
millions of dollars spent on the thing, and they don't care. And then they can customize their own LLM. But how about like small, medium customers? They should give up. Probably they should give up because there should be a way to do it locally and cheaper and also secure. And even like you have tons of money, if you're in healthcare, you can't really use their service too. That's the rule. That, yeah. So that's the question, because if I say, hey, yeah, I can compete with Google, I can compete with Meta, people are like, hey, go away. I'm not interested in you because it's actually a lie, right? You can't really compete with the same field that they are doing. So, yeah.
Question. So nowadays we hear a lot about hunting phase, right?
Yeah.
So hunting phase is usually billions of dollars. So they have this open source, a vast library of open source models. So that the idea is that, you know, any company that has a specific applications, they can leverage the models from hunting phase and build their own. So it sounds very similar to what you're doing.
Yeah,
So
we
how
will.
do you compete? Do you compete with Hugging Face?
I definitely never compete with Hugging Face because, I mean, I go there, download the model, and always test it. And if there is like better models in terms of like speed and quality, I always adapt it. Meaning, it doesn't make sense for me to kind of really create. For example, like I also have Japanese customers, and I just don't want to say that I'm really working with Japanese models and like put it on a Hugging Face, because University of Tokyo, right? So there's a lot like Matsuo Lab, who just released like kind of smaller model, like 7 billion parameter model in Japanese. So I don't want to compete with them, who spend a lot of money and resources to create models. So adaptive LLMs just like take models in the system, like you can have as many models as possible. The number of models doesn't matter because when you use it, you load it in the memory, right? But you have 1,000 models. But when you ask a question, you just need one model in the memory.
I'm sorry, how do you decide which model should be used?
That's the adaptive LLM. Meaning, how is a little kind of complicated, but like just you basically have like the task, something like task description. For example, this good model is like for programming, and we have another layer of like LLM to decide which model is good for each request. So that part we train. Yeah, so that's pretty unique, and we don't